The book Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind, was written by Yuval Noah Harari, an Israeli historian, and was first published in Hebrew in 2011. The book was later translated into English in 2014 and quickly gained worldwide popularity. Harari specializes in world history and the evolution of human societies. In Sapiens, he explores a central question: how did Homo sapiens, just one species of many, come to dominate the Earth? The book looks at key moments in human history, focusing on major revolutions, cognitive, agricultural, and scientific, that shaped our species and led to the world we know today. The story of humans begins around 2.5 million years ago in Africa, where multiple human species coexisted. These included Homo erectus, Neanderthals, and Homo sapiens. Unlike today, when only Homo sapiens remain, back then, different species of humans lived alongside each other, much like different species of big cats exist today. However, over time, sapiens became the dominant species, while others disappeared. One of the biggest reasons for this was sapiens' unique cognitive abilities, specifically the ability to imagine and believe in things that did not exist, such as gods, nations, and money. This ability allowed them to cooperate in large numbers, which no other human species could do effectively. The cognitive revolution happened around 70,000 years ago and marked a turning point in human history. Before this, early humans used basic tools and survived mainly by hunting and gathering, much like other animals. But something changed in the way sapiens thought and communicated. They developed complex language, which was more than just a way to share basic information about food or danger. Language allowed sapiens to create and share myths, stories, and shared beliefs, which helped them form large, organized groups. One theory suggests that sapiens' language evolved to gossip. Since early humans lived in small communities, knowing who could be trusted and who was a liar helped strengthen social bonds. However, Harari argues that what really made sapiens unique was their ability to talk about things that do not physically exist. They could believe in shared myths, such as tribal spirits or gods, which helped unite large groups of people who had never met before. This new way of thinking allowed sapiens to spread across the globe. Around 45,000 years ago, they reached Australia, which required advanced planning and cooperation to cross the sea. By 15,000 years ago, they had migrated to the Americas. Everywhere they went, sapiens outcompeted other species, including Neanderthals, and changed the environment. They hunted large animals to extinction and adapted to different climates better than any other species. The agricultural revolution, which began about 12,000 years ago, was another major turning point. Before this, humans lived as hunter-gatherers, moving from place to place in search of food. Then they discovered farming. They learned to grow crops like wheat and rice and domesticate animals like cows and sheep. This allowed them to stay in one place and build permanent settlements. Over time, small villages grew into towns and cities. At first glance, farming seemed like a great improvement. It provided more food, allowed human populations to grow, and led to the development of civilization. However, Harari argues that it also had negative consequences. Farmers had to work much harder than hunter-gatherers, spending long hours planting and harvesting crops. Their diets became less varied, leading to malnutrition. Living close to animals led to new diseases such as smallpox and influenza, which still affect humans today. Farming also created social hierarchies. Unlike hunter-gatherer societies where people were relatively equal, farming allowed some people to accumulate wealth and power. Landowners controlled large farms, while others became workers or even slaves. Kings, priests, and warriors emerged as rulers, and ordinary people had less freedom. Over time, civilizations like ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and China developed complex governments, laws, and religions. As human societies grew, they needed new ways to organize themselves. Harari explains that shared myths, stories that people believed in, played a crucial role. These myths included religions, nations, and money, all of which exist only because people agree they do. One of the most powerful shared myths is money. A piece of paper or a gold coin has no real value, but because people believe it does, they can use it to trade goods and services. This allowed economies to grow and made trade between strangers possible. Similarly, empires expanded by uniting people under common beliefs. The Roman Empire, for example, controlled millions of people by spreading Roman laws, the Latin language, and a shared identity. Even after the empire fell, its ideas continued to shape the world. About 500 years ago, the world changed again with the scientific revolution. Before this, most people explained the world through religion or tradition, rather than questioning nature. But during this period, people began using science and experiments to understand the world. They made breakthroughs in astronomy, medicine, and physics. For example, Nicholas Copernicus discovered that the Earth revolves around the sun, not the other way around. This challenged religious beliefs and changed how people saw the universe. Science also led to the Industrial Revolution, where machines replaced human labor and factories produced goods on a massive scale. Inventions like the steam engine, railroads, and electricity transformed daily life. People moved to cities, economies grew, and global trade increased. However, industrialization also caused pollution, worker exploitation, and economic inequality. Harari points out that capitalism played a key role in modern history. Unlike earlier economies, where wealth depended on land and resources, capitalism encouraged investment and innovation. This helped create the modern world, but also led to economic inequality and environmental destruction. Today, humans are more powerful than ever before. We can cure diseases, create artificial intelligence, and even modify our own genes. But Harari raises an important question: what happens next? With advances in genetic engineering and biotechnology, humans may soon be able to change their own biology. Some scientists believe we will be able to extend human life, improve intelligence, or even create new forms of life. Artificial intelligence and robotics could replace human workers, creating both opportunities and challenges. If these technologies continue to develop, sapiens may no longer be the same species. We could become something entirely new, perhaps even a different kind of intelligent being. Harari calls this the rise of Homo Deus, the godlike human, a species that might control life and death in ways we can only imagine. Sapiens is a journey through time that helps us understand who we are and where we are going. Harari challenges readers to think about the past not just as a list of events, but as a story shaped by ideas, myths, and decisions. He shows how belief systems, economies, and technologies have guided human progress and how they will shape the future. By understanding history, we can make better choices about what comes next. Will we use science and technology to create a better world, or will we repeat the mistakes of the past? The book leaves readers with big questions about humanity's future, urging us to reflect on what it truly means to be human.